Emerging from the shadows or still lost in them. How the Sunday Express turned Pennelope, weak, Beckles' year of failure into a fairy tale of political rebirth. Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to WZYE-TV. Today we address a piece of political fiction published by the Sunday Express on June 7, 2026, dressed as journalism, filed under news, but functioning as pure PNM propaganda. The article, co-authored by Verdell Bishop and Shavana Lal, declares with breathtaking confidence that opposition leader Pennelope Beckles has emerged from the shadows and is shifting gears toward a more polished and active public presence. It even frames her bold declaration of a 2030 PNM election victory as the announcement of a leader hitting her stride. WZYE-TV is going to read that article back to you, and then read reality back to you, because the two look nothing alike. What the Express said and what it omitted. The Express article opens with this line: "Not so long ago, opposition leader Pennelope Beckles was almost invisible and largely unreachable." Let us pause there. The newspaper is openly acknowledging that the leader of the official parliamentary opposition, the woman constitutionally positioned as the alternative prime minister of this country, was almost invisible. That is not a compliment wrapped in criticism. That is a confession. And the Express buries it in the opening sentence before pivoting immediately to rehabilitation. Now, however, there is no doubt she has emerged from the shadows. On what basis? The article's evidence of this emergence is a speech at a PNM Women's League meeting in Faizabad, a declaration that the PNM will win the 2030 general election, and glowing quotes from former PNM Vice Chairman Robert LaHunt, a loyal party insider who says he has full confidence in Beckles and believes she would win 90% of PNM support if an election were called tomorrow morning. That is the totality of the independent evidence offered. One partisan source, one internal party meeting, and one prediction of a 2030 victory from a leader whose party just lost one-third of its support base in 2025. And the Express calls this emergence. The record the Express chose not to print. While the Express was writing Beckles' political rehabilitation piece, WZYE-TV invites the public to consider what actually happened in the 1 year of Beckles' leadership the article covers. Item 1. The John Bates/Al Rawi fiasco. Both senators edited former Health Minister Diyal Singh's witness statement before it went to a parliamentary committee. John Bates was removed after a month of Beckles' dithering. Al Rawi, the more senior, more powerful former Attorney General, walked away completely untouched. One standard for the young woman, a totally different one for the old boy. The Express Emergence article. Zero mention. Item 2. The UNSC humiliation. 2 days before this article ran, Beckles responded to TNT's historic 181-vote UN Security Council triumph by asking the Prime Minister if she knew TNT served on the Council in 1985. 40 years ago. The PM replied that many in the chamber were probably not yet born then. It was a political execution. The Express emergence story. Zero mention. Item 3. The $67 million lobbyist. The UNSC debate exposed that the PNM spent $67 million Trinidad and Tobago on a New York lobbyist over 9 years with, in the PM's words, little evidence of measurable achievements. The UNC secured the seat in 1 year for the cost of promotional materials and one reception. The Express boldness story. Zero mention. The emergence that is not. Let us be precise about what it means to emerge from the shadows as a leader of the opposition. It means holding the government accountable on the floor of Parliament with facts, evidence, and devastating consistency. It means building a credible alternative policy platform. It means projecting authority, discipline, and fairness, including fairness within your own parliamentary team. It means growing your party's support base, not merely re-energizing those who are already loyal. On every single one of those measures, Pennelope Beckles has not emerged. She has remained exactly where she started, in the shadows, occasionally stepping into the light for a party meeting or a social media post before retreating again. Even LaHunt's defense is a concession dressed as a compliment. He says Beckles spent the year doing necessary groundwork that might not be flashy. He says she was rightly focused on rebuilding the foundation. He is describing one full year in which the official leader of the opposition produced no meaningful parliamentary challenge to a government that, by his own admission, has continually disappointed the public. If the government is that disappointing, why did the opposition not land a single knockout blow in 12 months? That failure belongs to Beckles. WZYE TV analysis. The Sunday Express article is not journalism. It is a PNM public relations exercise published under 2 bylines and given the authority of a national newspaper's news section. The tell is in the framing. There is no doubt she has emerged from the shadows. No doubt? According to Robert LaHunt, a party insider. That is the entire independent evidence base. A genuinely balanced report would have referenced the John Bates double standard, the UNSC humiliation, and the $67 million lobbyist. None of that appears. What appears is a profile piece too favorable even for the PNM's own communications team. WZYE-TV respects Beckles' right to lead the PNM and build her party. But credibility must be earned. It cannot be gift-wrapped by a sympathetic newspaper and handed over as a headline. The people of Trinidad and Tobago watched the UNSC debate. They watched the John Bates fiasco. They watched a month of silence while a senator's future dangled. They know what they saw. No Sunday Express feature, however warmly written, can make them unsee it. When the Express writes that Pennelope Beckles has emerged from the shadows, it is not reporting. It is wishing. WZYE-TV, Caribbean News. No filter. No fear.